Dak Prescott. What more can you say about him, man? He came and he showed up in this game where they were basically telling everybody that, listen, Zeke wasn't going to be able to get off the ground. He wasn't going to be able to do his usual Zeke things. It's going to be all in front of Dak. Can Dak handle it? Can Dak win it? That was the biggest question coming into this game because we were facing the Ravens, the number one rush defense, and what do you know? Dak showed up nonetheless. But before I get into Dak, let me just say something. This defense scares me, and I'm talking about the Cowboys defense because this defense is so bad. I mean, the corners, listen, we're basically confirmed to go to the playoffs. Let's be honest here. Unless we lose, six more games and every other team in their division wins, then we're not going to the playoffs. But let's be honest, we're going to the playoffs. So me personally, I'm already looking forward to the playoff mentality and everything. And to be honest, this is not a defensive playoff. This is not a playoff caliber defense because we give up way too many, like the slants, like everything. It was killing us. The short passes, the non-tackling, everything. Like these corners, granted, they did pick it up in the second half, but still, this defense just leaves me scared. Don't let Joe Flacco stats fool you because when it was time for Joe Flacco to throw the ball, he threw the ball. He was eating good. But no, nonetheless, I do think that the corners need to step it up. Listen, these playoffs, that's when you're going to see the top of the top teams. Granted, we did beat the Ravens team who were number one in the division, but I'm just scared for this defense. I hope that we can get it together. But let's stop talking about defense. Let's talk about this 9th straight win coming from Dak Prescott and the boys. Now, for starters, Zeke, even though this is a bad game for Zeke, this is a good game for a running back. You know what I'm saying? 97 yards, 25 carries. He had around 30 yards on like 4 catches. So overall, he had around like 120 per scrimmage yards. And not to mention the fact that he did shatter Tony Dorsett's rookie record, and he was actually there to see it. So congrats to Zeke. One thing that I gotta mention is that I actually like the fact I was gonna make a video on this. I might still make a video on it, but he's closing on Eric Dickerson's record, and I think that Zeke, I think he can still get it, but he's gonna have to have like a couple more monster games because even though it was a good game, I think that he needed like 100 yards or like 100 yards some change in order to like be like perfectly on set to break it. But he's gonna need a couple few monster games. You can't really fault Zeke. He had 97 yards against the best rush defense. We all knew that this wasn't going to be an easy game. And Zeke, while he couldn't necessarily get it going 100%, he still did put in a little bit of work. But then we move on to Dak, and Dak basically stole the show. Let's be honest, he stole the show because he came out here. Yeah, he was looking a little bit rough in the first half, but he picked it up. He got back to normal. I don't know what they do in the locker room. They must give them some type of juice in the locker room because they come out here and they start balling again. I mean, they just start balling. Dak, he settled down, starts going in, tosses a couple of touchdowns to Dez, gives a touchdown to Cole Beasley. Like, Dak, he's a winner at the end of the day. Like on that drive where they went and go converted for where they had the game winning field goal or the game clinching field goal, it was all Dak basically. I mean, Zeke, he did do a couple, like he did run the clock, but it was basically all Dak. We saw him pick up first down, passing to Bryce Butler, passing to Cole Beasley. You know, he just put in work, and this game showed that Dak can win the game. He can win games. I really do like this because even though the critics, they were all saying, can Dak win? Can Dak win? Ever since Dak went ahead and led us back against teams like the 49ers or teams like the Eagles, I knew that Dak, he could win. This game was basically for the critics. If you're a Cowboys fan, you already knew about Dak's greatness, let's be honest. But the critics, the people who might not pay as much attention, these are the people saying stuff like, can Dak win? Can he lead the team to victory? And he did. He didn't have a good defense, or he had an okay defense. I'm not gonna lie. It was subpar. Let's say subpar. It wasn't a bad run game, but it wasn't what he's used to. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing with Zeke is that he set his standards so high, whereas if he doesn't get 100 yards, it's a bad game for him. Let's be honest. But in reality, for any other running back to have 97 yards, that's a good game. But he didn't have his usual running game, and it was all up to Dak. He had to show up and do his thing with the help of his offensive line and his receivers, and they pulled out the dub. Overall, 9-1. I'm liking how we feel. I believe we play the Redskins next for Thanksgiving, so that's going to be a classic game. I predict that's going to be a high-scoring game. Comment what you guys see down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.